So while we're talking about the SQO, and we're talking about like controlling it as a state function and stuff like that, there is a lot of confusion. Like, say for instance, like when you talk about state bits and you're using the bit, or you're using this, or you're using that. So what I like to do is, personally, I'll come in here and copy this, and then I'll make a new bit that says something like this will be uh, state 1, and we'll do state 1, and we'll do valve control. And then this gives a lot simpler clarity to it, because what I'm going to do is I'll make a new tag, and then I'm going to alias it to that bit. So then you know definitely state 1 is for valve control. And then state right here, this one right here, we'll go ahead and make this one. This is actually going to be state 2, even though it says state 1, right? So we don't want to edit the tag. What we want to do is just completely delete it and then say state 2, and then we'll say pump control. State 2 pump control. And let's make that better. Control. Sorry about that. Now, again, we're going to alias this, so we're going to make a new tag and alias it so that anybody behind us can read it. If they upload the program, it will be there. If they look at the program, they understand it. So it's very, very, very simple to do. And so, therefore, you have two things right here. So now, what we can do is we can come over here and drag these up here. We can say anything that has the 0, we can just drag it like that. Same functionality, same exact thing. So all we're doing is basically swapping, right? We're basically making sure that that person knows. Now, you don't necessarily have to have this in here anymore, just because of the simple fact of, we know we're cutting on the valve, and the valve is in that state. Although, if you want clarity to it, you can do that. And also too, let's come down here and change this as well. Change that as well. So now it's a lot clearer for somebody behind us to read this logic. It's very, very simple, right? So again, come down to it. Now we're in the same state. We're waiting our 30 seconds. We're running the pump for 30 seconds. It's just an example, right? We're not doing anything with it. And then rung 2 is just to know what state we're in. Now, by now, you should know what state you're in. You can look at the position, right? But when it comes down to it, you want to understand, right? So this is just another way I like to do it to keep everything simple. And rather than using like descriptive, like let's just say, for instance, you come over here and you wrote a description in here. The problem with that is that if somebody behind you uploads it, then they're not going to get that description. However, if you alias it, like I did here, and not only do you have a descriptor, but you know exactly what bit it references to. So all we're doing is taking one bit that gives us a descriptor and gives us a base understanding of what that state does or what that function does, and then we're aliasing it to another bit that is actually the control element, right? So in that way we know, okay, well, this is obviously state 1, valve control. This is state 2, pump control. Very, very, very simple logic. It didn't change anything. All we did was make it simpler to read. And when it comes down to it, making your logic simple to read is very, very important. Now again, I have 9 states in here. We haven't done anything with the other states because it's simple fact of it's just showing you, like I said, the base starting of this SQO instruction and showing you how it works was just to get the foundation. But now, when we come down to it, I want to make sure that we understand the second video was, hey, we're actually going in and controlling the valve and the pump the correct way. The third element to it is this video right here, where we're talking about how to make this readable for somebody behind us. Again, coming in, even yourself, maybe you program this and you look back at it, and a year from now, or 2 years from now, or 3 years from now, whatever the case may be, you want to still be able to read it yourself. Like, what did I do here? Now, again, so a lot of times people don't do the aliasing, and I don't understand why personally, because it makes life a lot simpler. It's easier to read. And the purpose behind the alias is, again, to make sure that it's functional, right? ControlLogix is a tag-based system. Please use it as a tag-based system and make sure you use descriptors. You don't have to have your first tag to be your absolute perfect descriptor. You can make another tag that's your descriptor and alias it to that. There's multiple reasons why you use aliases. This is just one that I tend to use because it helps out the person behind me. It helps out myself, and it's just easy. It's just easier to read. So hopefully with that said, that helped you guys out, and we'll see you guys on the next one.